Background checks are required to buy a gun, and currently the FBI conducts them. However, next month, New York State will be getting involved, tacking on extra charges for legal gun owners. Mackenzie Mislin joins us now in the studio with the details on these new provisions. Mackenzie.
Yes, Teresa, starting September 13th, the New York State Police will serve as the middleman between gun owners and the FBI conducting background checks. And those checks aren't just needed for guns anymore. Ammo is included. Last November, the governor passed the Concealed Carry Improvement Act, making background checks go through the state for buying both firearms and now also ammunition before going to the FBI. Brandon Lewis, the owner of the firing pin in Bergen, says next month gun owners will have to pay an extra $9 for firearm background checks and $2.50 for ammunition checks.
Right now, if you want to buy a $5 box of ammunition, the price is going to increase, by 50%, just for really no good reason, no logical reason that's protecting any public safety.
He says for the average local firearm dealer, it just makes their jobs that much harder.
It's causing firearms dealers to go out of business because there's so many more regulations on top of just this that they have to deal with now that it's just not feasible. New York is already a very difficult state. We say we're business friendly, but as a small business, it's already very difficult when they keep adding regulations and inspections.
And for what? Lewis says the extra layer for background checks won't stop those wanting to get their hands on a gun from doing so.
We argue that this is making people in New York less safe because now the average person is not going to be able to defend themselves as easily as they were before. The person with ill intent, they're still going to do whatever they want to do like they could before. They already don't go to firearm shops. There's already an underground market for these types of items. This is going to drive legal gun owners underground and just widen those markets and make it much more difficult for the average citizen to protect themselves.
The New York State Police released a statement to us today saying in part, quote, the process for gun background checks will be similar to what currently exists, and goes on to say the legislation requires that transaction fees be collected to fund the state background check system. Teresa.